Members of the board, Mr. Lyons, Mr. Richardson, and you're all moving around, Mr. Torres, and I wish the new president, Lydia, and the vice president, Marilyn, congratulations. The best of luck for this year as well. While I am pleased that the public has elected you to the board, as you are all well aware, there remain numerous issues affecting our students that need to be addressed. Specifically, I encourage each of the members of this board to visit each and every school and trailer that is open to the members of our community. Particularly the time has come for this board, in conjunction with the city, to exhibit real leadership and stewardship and develop a long-range solution to continue to provide the excellent pre-K program and eliminate the dilapidated trailers. While I am encouraged that some action has been taking place to remedy existing substandard conditions in some of the trailers, such as installing new floors and new walls, I would hope that this does not mean, as a district, that we keep the same trailers for another 25 years. It is important that the board acknowledges that facilities are in fact integral to the student achievement. I'd like to read a quote from Ellie Herman from an article from the Washington Post called "The Most Important Thing I've Learned." Teachers in high poverty communities need professional working conditions. If they do not have professional working conditions, we will never be able to narrow the achievement gap between children of color in generational poverty and their more affluent white peers, who are often showered with opportunity and enrichment from the time they are born. Teachers in high poverty communities are expected to be effective at working with 5 to 6 classrooms a day with 35 to 50 students, and many of whom are reading far below grade level, and many of whom have serious behavior issues that make it difficult for them to sit at a desk quietly, all of whom have grown up in school systems riddled with corrupt administrators and an ever-rotating cast of teachers who sometimes walk off the job in despair in the middle of the year or just check out and burn out and stop caring. We do not acknowledge that many of these students, quite understandably, do not trust the school system in the first place, and so that trust first needs to be rebuilt, often painfully and slowly. How can we expect students to excel on critical examinations like the PARCC test if the facilities are not adequate? Facilities are the most important to teachers because teachers in this district are doing an excellent job and should not be forced to work in substandard conditions. I want to remind the board that they are elected to serve on this board by the public to be advocates for the parents and the students and not to serve as members of the superintendent's office. It is disheartening to look around this room and not to see a large number of parents attending these meetings regularly. While I applaud the fact that we now have translation services available at these meetings, I distinctly recall that while on the campaign trail, members of this board made numerous statements alleging that they would find creative ways to encourage parent participation. And after 2 years, parent participation seems to be down. And in fact, prior to this last election, those board members made attempts to discourage public participation by not airing public comment during the meeting and only relented when confronted during this last campaign, both by the mayor and by the members of the public, that the policy was unpopular, undemocratic, and thanks to a parental advocacy crew, Children's First, possibly illegal. Since this is a new year, I am hopeful that it starts on a good note. At the last meeting, a $90,000 internship was approved for a Harvard intern to work for the district. I would like to see this current board rescind this approval immediately, as I believed it was in poor form to approve high amounts of money for something that should have been brought up for approval in the next fiscal year. Thank you. Good night.